What we hope to do during the course of the year is cover one aspect of the Salah each month. The aspect that has been chosen for today is the timings of the prayer, as well as the number of rakat, or the number of units of prayer that one has to offer in each of the 5 daily prayers. So there are 2 handouts that have been distributed. One is a prayer timetable. This is the prayer timetable that's available at the Muslim Centre of Middlesex County in Piscataway for illustration. And I'm going to go through the prayer timetable really just to emphasize the timings of the prayer, when each prayer has to be offered, and really to also explain some differences one might see in different prayer timetables from different locations. So what you'll see in the handout is you have the days of the month on the left. You have the Hijri day, which is the day from the Islamic calendar. And then you have actual 6 times that are shown for each day. So the first time that's shown is titled Fajr, okay, and the second time that's shown is titled Sunrise. So the timing of the Fajr prayer, this is the first prayer of the day, and actually all of the 5 daily prayers, the timings are determined in relation to timings of the sun. So everything is based on the sun. So the Fajr prayer is to be offered between dawn and sunrise. Okay? So what you see here is what's termed Fajr and what's termed sunrise. So the Fajr prayer has to be offered between these 2 times. So today's the 3rd of January. So the Fajr prayer has to be offered between 6 o'clock and 7:22. These are the timings of the prayer. The second prayer of the day is Zohar. And Zohar is offered between when the sun is at its highest point, okay, which is termed in Arabic Zawal. And the ending time for the Zohar prayer, okay, there is a difference in opinion between scholars for what that ending time is. And there are 2 rulings on this. One ruling is that the ending time for the Zohar prayer is when the shadow of an object is equal to its length. And the other ruling is when the shadow of an object is equal to twice its length. Okay? So what you will find, and I just want to explain this because you might see differences in the timings between the prayer timetables from one location and another, and this is for this reason. Now, inshallah, both opinions are correct, and these differences that we find are both acceptable. We should not criticize people who follow the opinion that we don't follow. We must accept that both opinions have their valid standing in Islam. And if one chooses to follow one opinion, they should not criticize those people who follow the other. So the Zohar prayer, the starting time is what's shown here, okay, which is when the sun is at its highest. And actually, one should wait approximately 3 minutes after the timing when the sun is at its highest. And in some timetables, okay, this 3 minutes is already added on. And in this particular timetable, that 3 minutes is already added on. Okay, so the time for Zawal, which is when the sun is at its highest, is actually 12:03. And the time for Zohar that's stated on this timetable is 12:06. So according to this timetable, the timings that are shown here for the end time for Zohar, okay, is when the shadow of an object is equal to twice its length. Okay, that's what's shown on this particular timetable. Okay. Now, for those people who follow the other opinion, okay, the shadow of an object equal to its length, the end time for Zohar will be approximately 30 or 45 minutes earlier. Okay, so just look out for that when you see the timetables. So Zohar can be prayed up to the time for Asr. Okay, so the second prayer would be offered between these two timings. So today is the 3rd of January, so it's between 12:06 and 3:03. The Asr prayer, okay, the third prayer of the day, is offered from when the timing of Zohar ends, okay, until the sun sets. Okay. Now, one should be very vigilant in the timing for Asr, okay, because the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has warned the believers of offering the prayer for Asr very late, okay, and one should try to avoid the last 30 minutes, okay, in the time that's allowable for praying Asr. Okay, so Asr can be prayed right up to just before sunset. Okay, that is allowed. Okay, but even though it's allowed, one should try to pray at least 30 minutes before sunset. Okay, and the reason for this is that during the time of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there were people who were hypocrites. Okay, there were Muslims. They claimed to be Muslims, but they did not practice Islam, and they would very much delay the Asr prayer in particular, right to the end. So the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he told the believers, don't be like the hypocrites. So try to offer the Asr prayer at least 30 minutes before Maghrib. If you can't, and there's extenuating circumstances, it would still be acceptable if it's offered 20 minutes, 15 minutes, 10 minutes even before Asr, before Maghrib. But try not to. Then the Maghrib prayer, okay, is offered after sunset. Okay, so once the sun has set, wait 3 minutes, and then the Maghrib prayer should be offered. One should hasten to offer the Maghrib prayer, and one finds that in the mosques, the Maghrib prayer is usually offered shortly after the timing of the sunset. Okay, the congregation in the masjid will rarely wait half an hour or so to offer the Maghrib. It's usually offered immediately after sunset, and this follows the hadith of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, where he advised the believers, make haste in offering the Maghrib prayer. The timing of the Maghrib prayer ends when the timing of Isha begins. Okay, but one should try not to wait that long, and there are differences in opinion as to the exact timing of the Isha prayer. And one of the other things you'll find when you look at the different timetables is sometimes the timing for the start of Fajr and the start of Isha vary by maybe 20 minutes, 25 minutes, depending on the timetable one has. And different websites might show you differences in those timings. And this is because there are different calculation methods that are used for these timings. And this is an additional reason why one should not offer the Maghrib prayer too late. The timing for the Isha prayer begins as shown here, and the Isha prayer, according to many scholars, can be offered all the way up to the dawn. However, some scholars have said that the Isha prayer should be offered before the middle of the night, and some scholars have said it should be offered before 1/3 of the night has elapsed. Okay, so one should not make too much delay in offering the Isha prayer either.